in my joystick, I can lower the flaps, say to 5. When I come back up, it stays. It won't go any farther than flaps 1. And I have to manually. It'll show on here that I'm back to 0, but I have to grab the flaps up and throw them back forward, and then it'll finally come back. But I don't know if I got a joystick conflict going on. Seems kind of weird though. It's only just at flaps 1. And there's the cat. Hey cat. You gonna bump my computer? Don't you step on that keyboard. Yep, there's the cat. You gonna talk in the mic, kitty? Let's see. Get me all furry before I go to work. No, don't you step on that keyboard.
You have to work tonight?
Get over here. Alright, lay down. Lay down. Alright, there we go. Lay down.
You have to work tonight, Dad?
What, Brad?
You have to work tonight?
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah.
It'll be a long night.
Why's that?
Because you're awake.
Oh, I had plenty of sleep. I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you did you?
Or, shit, yeah. Well, I'm sure you'd have paid attention when the MCP would come up with that @ symbol here in the speed. It wouldn't let you go any higher than 240 or 240, I think. Oh, I don't know, some random flavor. I get like 5 random flavors every month.
So do I.
Traditional Jews Tribe. Doesn't even tell me what flavor it is.
Show them this, Dad.
I got a few others. I get it from it's called June. Caramel apple cream brulee crumble.
Show them this.
You can get it from what's called the Craft Vapor. You get five bottles for like $40 a month. It's just automatically sent. Will you lay down already?
Dad.
What, Brad?
Show them this.
What? Oh.
This.
Yeah. This is what my son vapes with. Huge ass thing. It's a lot bigger than the one I use, but this is fine. I only run at 30 watts. That's enough smoke for me. I don't need to create a fog bank. What are you doing, cat? Good Lord. Yeah, I might have some problems with this route here. For some reason, I didn't set VNav before I took off, so I figured, what the hell, I'll just go ahead and do MCP it. But I noticed that my arrival isn't showing up in here in the route. It is, I mean, in the progress page, but it is showing my landing. And it is showing up on the primary flight display. I think we'll be alright. Just doesn't give me distance. Except I'm going to have a hard time figuring out when I need to descend. Don't think it doesn't give me the overall route length. Getting a tracking error on this IRQ. Maybe that's why. Wait a minute, IRQ. That's right there. I may even lose my track. Yeah, I may break LNAV here after IRQ. We'll see. Then I'll have to completely totally manually fly it. Yeah, I tried to bump up my settings in for the video, and it looked like crap. Of course, I'm still using 32-bit OBS because I tried the 64-bit, but I couldn't find any way to preview the stream. I like to preview and make sure everything's set before I fire up, and it didn't have a preview video screen. That's probably what I'm going to have to go to if I want to bump up my quality settings in the stream. So right now I had to put it back down to 1280 by 720. Actually, the 32-bit older version. Actually, this is the older version of OBS. The newer versions, 32-bit and 64, they don't have that preview button. And that was kind of important to me. Is the preview button on the main screen like it is on this old one? I did not see it. Oh, OBS Studio, not class. That's the pay version one, probably, I'd assume. Yeah, but as far as quality of stream, I probably do have to go to 64-bit. I don't think I have that with the older version. 64-bit probably didn't come in the older version. My version's like 2 years old. I'll check my OBS folder, see if 64-bit's in there. See, program files, OBS. Nope. Just the one. Yeah. The one I downloaded had a transition screen in it. I don't know if that was Studio or not, or whether it was supposed to be free or not, but that's the one I downloaded. It looked different. You're able to do video transitions or whatever. I'm not big into doing things like that. It's not something I needed. What game is in the background? You mean on my son's computer? He's probably playing Smite. Yep, he's starting to play Smite. It's pretty much all he plays.
Is it pretty much in the view of your camera?
What?
My screen?
Yeah, your game is right there.
They're about to hear me rage here in a minute.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be raging his game.
I love and hate this game with gold at the same time.
Well, LNAV's still working for now. Where we at? Okay, I'm at IRQ. Nope, not yet. Heading to IRQ. Gotta keep an eye on that and make sure we don't break the LNAV. Yeah, getting back to the vape, the bottle's only 80 milliliter. I think. Let me check this one. Oh, 30 milliliter. I'm sorry, 30 milliliter. I was gonna say 80 seemed to be big. Yeah. So they're not huge, but I don't use a big tank on mine, or just, I'm only do, like I said, 30 watts, so it doesn't go through it completely fast. Hang on a second. I'm going to be bringing one of my browsers back up on the main screen here because I want to see what my video quality looks like. Blown up. Yeah, it's not bad, but definitely not as good as yours, crazy. I mean, it's doable, but yours was like you could see a pimple at 100 yards on it. I'm sitting there, how? I'm sitting there, wow, that's awesome. Welcome, Dennis, to the stream. Where are you from, sir? I'm from West Virginia. Don't hold it against me. Doing a flight without VNAV this time. Going to control descent with the MCP. Gonna have to kind of guess when I'm going to descend, so I don't have an overall range for my route. Because IXEG is being a booger today. I could kind of guesstimate with adding up mileages here. Let me see. Let me backtrack here. 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 before Pudge. $15.34 to 6R. I'd say probably just after TVT will come down. Yeah, they got the door to work on the inside anyway. I don't know if you notice this. If you open that door and you walk into the cabin and turn around to look, the door showing it's closed. Amongst other graphical glitches I'm sure you've seen. Sorry, I'm probably getting you guys dizzy. Come over here. Might as well get the approach information on here while I remember. What? Well, that's going to suck. It doesn't show any gross weight information. I don't know how. It's not going to. It's not even going to determine my. I'm going to have to wing it. Yeah, I must have buggered something before I flew. I was in a hurry to take off. I didn't set. I probably. That's probably what it was. I probably didn't set my init refs. Good God. Yeah, I had to reload. I had to reload the plane like 4 times before the flight because of some stupid things I was doing, and so I was in a hurry to get the flight off. Because I don't have all day, unfortunately. That is weird. Yeah, that's it. I didn't enter all my shit. I wonder if I could just cheat and put the 0 fuel weight in it. It'd probably just completely throw it all off, but because it's a little late to be doing that now. And as we know, IXEG does not like you screwing with the FMS when you after you've taken off. 43.4. I'm going to port this. I know it. 43.4. 01. 01. Oh, it do not like that. There it goes. 32. 0. It's running really slow. I just use a cheap Microsoft, the common one. Forgot. Oh, the 3D Pro. I haven't upgraded just because of all the bad reviews of any other HOTASs that are out there due to their wiring issues. I don't want to spend all that money and get screwed. And this thing's been flawless in the 4 years I've owned it. I cannot execute. There we go. Yeah, I'd love to get a HOTAS, but I'm afraid of their reliability. Just about every one I didn't find one out there that's got a review that said they were reliable. I think it was the Satex that got a wiring fraying issue. I even had a point where I had the money to get the Warthog, but even that had a bad review about something on it. And I also didn't like the fact that you had to buy it didn't come with pedals, and it did. Oh no, my main issue with that one was it didn't have a twist stick. So you definitely relied on getting pedals with it. There we got a distance now. I wonder if VNAV will. Let's see, type of descent. Alright, that might be good. Zooming out, see if the TD is showing up there. About to go farther. Yep, as far as I can go at the moment. Yeah. Wow, I was actually able to do something with the FMC and not crash the plane. I'll go ahead and set my descent altitude. Alright, it is. I didn't set it for real time, I don't think so. So 1707, arrival 1908, 2 hours. That's probably about right. I'm heading to Cleveland, Ohio. I left Tampa, I don't know, half hour ago or so. Gonna land on 24 left in Cleveland. So as we make our approach, we'll be flying right over Cleveland itself, and then I think probably a little bit of Lake Erie for our final approach. Yeah, that, I don't know if you were all here when I was talking about lightning. It took out my internet shortly before I wanted to come in and or stream. And that lightning bolt hit, there wasn't even any warning with sound. I mean, it just hit, and the boom was right with the hit. I thought it hit something in our yard or our house, because it shook the house like an earthquake. I've never had that happen in my life. So I was thinking the internet was fried somewhere. So I went ahead and I started my flight without broadcasting it, and then I came back online. So I decided I'll go ahead and fire up the stream. Scared the crap out of our animals. Well, for those guys who like Netflix, if you're not aware, if you watch House of Cards, it got released last night, so season 5 is out. Awesome show. I highly recommend it. Even if you haven't seen it before, started episode or season 1. It's the best show I've ever seen. I'll go ahead and fire up FS Cloud just so I know where I am in the world. I haven't done VATSIM yet, by the way. I have a hard time keeping up with their fast speech on them things. I'd be constantly asking them, could we repeat that, repeat this? Alright, we are presently right on the Atlanta, South Carolina border. Or not Atlanta, Georgia, South Carolina border between Atlanta and Columbia. Off to your right is ground, off to your left is clouds and ground. There's your sightseeing tour. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but I haven't really noticed a quality difference in the flight sim changing the anti-aliasing at all. Yeah, I watch a lot of people do it. They're crazy, including a lot of guys online doing it. I mean, I know what to expect them to say, but it's like it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I gotta write this down. I missed this, I missed that. I'm trying to kind of practice in my head what they're saying and try to practice repeat back. It was like, wait a minute, I missed that, I missed this. So I mean, I know what they're going to say. They're going to give you the, you approved, you whatever, to there to there. Then they're going to give you approved route via this transition, climbed altitude, whatever, maintain, and whatever. I still miss some of it. I'm probably attention deficit. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I'm guessing I am. And on top of that, it's hard enough to, as one person, to, manipulate all this information here, change frequencies and all that crap while they're giving you all that crap. But yeah, I'd like to do it. One of these days I probably will. I'm not going to do Pilot Edge though. I'm not paying for something like that. Especially when they're limited in their area of coverage. I mean, I tried to go on VATSIM once. I said, well, I'll go ahead and give it a try. Well, what I did is I checked was it VATSpy or whichever one would tell you where the controllers are online and all that. And I went into one area where I figured, well, I'll go ahead. There's no controller in this area, so I thought. I started going down the ramp, and I was getting yelled at by a controller. I mean, literally getting yelled at by the controller for not reporting in. It's like, what the fuck? So, screw it. So I got out. Well, apparently VATSIM is too. I thought it was more relaxed than it was like 10 years ago, because I tried it about 10 years ago when I had FSX when it first came out. They were pretty serious back then. In fact, that was back then where I had to. I actually printed out the VATSIM manual and put it in a folder, and there's that many pages in it. And I studied that thing. That was even before I even knew how to. Oh, that and the PMDG. I downloaded that before they came out with the MGX or the NGX. And I printed that out. I studied that. I knew nothing about airplanes whatsoever, and I studied that, and I got it down to understanding how to at least fly an airliner. Then I went on VATSIM. Tried it a little bit there, but yeah, that manual, the pages for VATSIM alone was that about 2 inches thick. And while I was trying to learn it, I actually got into a little Cessna over there in Cleveland Hopkins. Because back then, I don't think FSX or P3D even has the option like X-Plane. You could exit your plane by hitting the C key and move anywhere you want to watch. Well, back then, in order to change your angle of watching, you actually had to move your plane. So I went down to the end of a ramp somewhere to watch. And the controller tried to yell at me about that. And I said, well, on page such and such of your VATSIM manual, it says we were allowed to do this. He goes, oh, okay. Yeah, I wish FS Cloud would take off a little bit more, though. Not a whole lot of users. Right now, there's only 91 users on it. Probably, most of them are probably over in the UK. I'd be alright if you're in the UK. I don't do a lot of flying outside the United States. A lot of them over in France right now. A lot. Actually, UK isn't too many people. Just France is loaded with people. They must have an event going on. See who we got on in my area. Nobody I recognize. Probably only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 15 people in the U.S. right now on FS Cloud. Presently in northwest South Carolina. Going to be entering into North Carolina? North Carolina and then a little bit of Tennessee. Well, it looks like I'm going to be flying over roughly about where I live in West Virginia. But yeah, I did bump up my bit rate anyway. You guys getting any buffering or anything going on? Any video loading buffering? I was at 1,000 before, and I bumped it up to 3,500. Apparently, 32-bit doesn't like going any much higher, going higher than that without causing problems. Oh, Roger, no buffering. Let's see, we got. Thank you for the follow. I don't. No, I must. Oh, here we go. Garage Gamer, thank you. 1840. I'm not on real time, so I'm gonna have to let's see, 18:45 landing, and it is a little under an hour. Maybe a little longer because I'm obviously slow down in descent. Maybe I'll get to 100 viewers one day. I don't get to stream much, and my viewership doesn't go up very fast. I'm going to try to stream more in the mornings, though, but usually I get off work, I get excited. Yeah, I'll go home and I'll stream. Then I get home and go, fuck it. I don't want to. It happens a lot, so I'm going to try to stream more. It may have a lot to do with the fact that this is my favorite plane and I haven't been able to use it. But unfortunately, the times I'll stream will be definitely way off of prime time. Except maybe the UK, you're going to be, what, let's see, get out 8 o'clock. You guys will be about, what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, during the week, yeah, probably an issue. But here, if it's 8 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock in the morning in California. So, the US would probably be pretty much out. Now, I'm going to ask Crazy because I know he has a 737. Pardon me, I don't know if you guys have this one or not, but when you get to that descent and you get that low idle warning, I wonder, plane maker, if you bump up the low idle setting, whether that'll solve that. But I don't know if that's going to mess up the N1 or N2 to the point where it's an issue. Because when that comes on, I'm checking here, the thrust is in the green when the low idle comes on. Top of descent is 343 miles. What's my range on my radar again? 320, so about 20 miles. Let's see if the top of descent shows up on the PFD. I'm surprised that IXEG just didn't have a brain fart when I put stuff into it after a flight. It usually confuses the hell out of it. So usually get a soft crash. That. I usually don't have to check the weather in Cleveland because the winds usually come out of the same direction. Once in a while it changes. But I'm just going to double check here. $250, yep. We're good on my runway, 24. 18 knots, gusting to 22, so it's going to be a little hairy on a manual land. What we got for rain? Traction. Rain 0, thunder 0. Visibility. A lot. They put it in meters, really. Good God. They could either put in kilometers or miles, but they don't. FS Cloud is, I don't know, let me call it up here. It's kind of like it's kind of like VATSIM Pilot or Pilot Edge, where everybody can connect, and theoretically, I mean, I could see other airplanes flying in here. It has the ability for controllers, air traffic controllers, to run it, but nobody ever does. Very, very rarely. So it's basically VATSIM without ATC. These are all the other people that are in right now. 93 users. can zoom out. Theoretically zoom out. Why aren't you zooming out? What the hell? Might have crashed. Well, let me reload it. I think it locked up. Alright, let me minimize, get that back up. Ugh. It's basically an add-on to X-Plane. You well, actually, it's not even an add-on. You don't put it in your plugins folder. When you run an installer, it latches onto your flight sim games. There we go. You can zoom in and out, see everybody in here. Like I said, there's a lot of people in France. The airplanes that are in red are on the ground. The white are in the air. Like I said, back where I was at, there isn't a whole lot of people. Closest guy to me is way up here in Washington. You could change the map looks like ground texturing. The hell was that? Obviously that's me. No, they got. There we go. That's the one I like it on. Yeah, very, very laid back Vatson. There's a lot of people that use it. I pretty much just use it to keep an eye on where I'm at. You know, I'll be honest with you, unless you're flying out of a major hub, you may not even see one person. Usually you don't see anybody. There are a lot of streamers use it. So, I mean, it's free, so what the hell. I just use it pretty much for positional tracking. You can even put an overlay onto your stream here. I think that's it here. No, that ain't it. Where is it? Map overlay. You'll see a lot of streamers have them. It's kind of like sitting off in a corner here. I don't think you guys answered me. Do you guys have X-Plane or FSX? I'd like to get prepared 3D version 4 that just came out. That's 64-bit. That was my big hold up on any of the other flight sims. They didn't have 64-bit. Since 294, and I should have saw that in here by now. You know, almost 300. Range should have been 320. Maybe it's coming in. They've updated the TCAS in here. I don't know if it works with FS Cloud or not though. Not that I'm gonna run into another airplane anyway, but is it on? There it is. GFC traffic. So the TCAS is on. So if there's theoretically another airplane in my area, it would tell me how many feet above or below they are to me. If they get real close to me, I'll get a TCAS warning telling me to climb or descend. It'll say TCAS warning or something along those lines. Oh, okay, X-Plane 11, yeah. I got both 10 and 11. So what's your favorite airplane? Well, I tell you what, Flight Factor 757 for X-Plane is superb. I don't have the version 2 that they released now, but I got version 1, and it's an awesome plane just as version 1. Yeah, IXEG to me is a little bit overpriced, but I love the airplane. I mean, I like 737s in general, so until they come out with the Payware NGX. I'm surprised PMDG didn't come over with their NGX. Figured they made a big mistake making the DC-6 as their first airplane, not to mention a hard airplane to fly. When they got released, I guess a lot of people bought it, but you'd see them stream it for maybe a week, and then you don't see it anymore. So I'm guessing their sales tanked. Yeah, go to www.xplane.org, and then there's you can find it easy from there. They'll have airliners in there, general aviation aircraft. I believe it runs $64 US as a base price. I don't think I've seen that one on sale yet. It's been released fairly recently. I think I got all the airplanes I want right at the moment. I believe my stream lists all my airplanes I got now. I think I've updated it. Yeah, I think I've updated it to what I have. .757 version 1, which you can't buy anymore, which I have. It didn't work in X-Plane 11. You had to do a few things to it to get it to work, and I got it to work. I still use it on occasion. It's a wonderful airplane. The Flight Factor 767 is another good one too. It's very similar to 757 except it's a wide body. I can't wait till they come out with the MD-11s. A company called Rotate's making an MD-11. They've already released an MD-80. Don't know when that's going to come out, but I definitely want the DC-11 or the MD-11, basically the DC-11. But other than that, I got all the airplanes I want at the moment. I'm probably going to get prepared 3D version 4, but I'm going to let it be out a little while. Make sure all the other developers have made it compatible with that version, just as an alternative. I have FSX and the PMDG 737 NGX. I don't use it a whole lot just because it's 64-bit. Nice airplane though.
Ah!
I'll give it that. Because my son rage playing on his game. Yep. I had to stream a first-person shooter one day. You guys, that mature button you hit when you have to enter the channel, yeah, you'd definitely be getting my mileage out of that one. I'd be swearing like a sailor. You probably guys would get a laugh out of it, probably. I got quite a few first-person shooters, actually. I got a stepson that plays on this computer occasionally, and my other son, or this guy behind me, had bought him PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I know for sure I'd rage on that one, big time. It would be a rage. I probably wouldn't have the computer by the end of one game. I'd probably smash it. Another game I was looking at, it was real cheap, it was only 15 bucks, was Day of Infamy, World War II. Kind of like the old Day of Defeat, only better. If you haven't checked that one out, it's pretty cool. It looks like a pretty cool game. I'll probably get that one. And that one's on Steam. We got 240 miles to descent. It's giving me only roughly 95 miles to descend, so it's going to be speed braking on and maybe even gear down early to slow me down. I don't know where it configures its distance to descent, but it's going to be a steep descent. Usually need about 120 miles at this altitude to be comfortable for descent. Yeah, getting back to studying the PMDG when I got it and all that with the and printing out manuals and all that. That was before you had internet access to YouTube, and I mean, we had internet. Did we have internet? I think. Yeah, we had internet, but didn't have all the resources on the internet like you do today. So, in order to learn it, you pretty much had to read everything, and I learned that all on my own. And I don't read much.
Huh.
Iwoza, did you fall asleep on me there, man? You must be sleeping in the cabin back here. I'd like to one day see them actually have click buttons back in the cabin where you can hit a call light or put your dome light on. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe even some reading material. Pick up a book and read a book while you're back there. That'd be awesome. Or have those I don't know what they call them, but you know, big iPad on the back of the seat in front of you. You can manipulate. Just be something different. So anyway, as long as I got Garage Gamer around, do you stream as well? If so, I'll go ahead and hit a follow on you. I'm not seeing the top of the summit. Oh, there it is. Just after LBT. Roger that. Yeah, but as you see up on the top left, there it is. Let you know what's going on with other pilots when they're landing. I think they can, ATC info. I guess they do have an ATC somewhere over in Germany. EDDF. That's in Germany. I forget what town, what city. I wonder if FS Cloud shows it on the map where it's like Vatson does, where a controller's controlling an area at the moment. It doesn't look like it. I'm guessing it's Frankfurt since there's airplanes there. Where are we now? We're in Virginia. Almost a tri-state intersection of Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia. In other words, nothing to see here. So you were doing VATSIM with what platform? FSX? Or did you just jump on it after you got X-Plane 11? Yeah, FSX is alright, I guess. I do like their weather system in FSX better than the X-Plane. It just seems more real. Oh yeah, and also I like the FSX and P3Ds because they're DirectX. And I do have the NVIDIA 3D Vision 2 glasses, and it's awesome when you fly it with that. I mean, the cockpit looks so damn real. So I'm kind of excited about P3D version 4 being 64-bit. Getting that and being able to use that, being able to use those glasses on that. X-Plane 11's OpenGL, and it doesn't work on OpenGL games. If I get rich, I'll probably get something like the Oculus or one of the knockoffs. I think that'd be pretty cool. So basically, yeah, the 3D Vision is kind of a ghetto version of Oculus, but It's actually really works really good in FSX, except for the landing lights, the PAPI lights. You get double vision on those. But other than that, it's pretty awesome. I mean, this when you're sitting in the cockpit and that this up here, the MCP panel just comes at you. It really does feel like you're in the cockpit. I got a tiny little tank on this vape machine, so I got to fill it quite frequently. I had a bigger tank glass to hold more. I broke it the day I bought it. I dropped it. As soon as I put it on, I dropped it and it shattered it. So my alternative was the other tiny little one it came with. It only holds maybe a dropper and a half of fluid in it. Ah, getting that all over my hands. Hang on, I gotta get something to wipe my hands off with because it's got a bunch of nicotine all over it. Alright, should be good to go. We're in West Virginia now. Shortly be hitting the southern tip of Ohio. So where are you from, gamer? I'm scrolling up. I noticed you didn't answer that earlier. Seriously, the sun's out? Yeah, the sun's out now. It was not more than an hour and a half ago that lightning bolt hit down.
That was crazy, man.
I've never felt a lightning bolt like that. Even that one that struck near our house. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
You were in the living room?
Yeah.
We had a lightning bolt back in Ohio when we lived there. My son and I were in the living room. And it struck a tree outside our house. And that was loud, but it didn't shake the house like an earthquake like this one did. Oklahoma, okay.
Well, you gotta think, that house is made of cinder blocks, too.
Yeah, well, it didn't hit the house. Well, yeah, it did. That's right. It wouldn't shake the cinder block, but still, it would create a concussion wave that would shake us.
Man, that had to hit right up on that hill.
Well, it took out the internet for about 20 minutes until they reset it.
Yeah. Probably all the electric discharge had popped off. Jeremy and Megan felt metal in their tasted metal in their mouth.
Did anybody go up there to see where it might have hit? Did anybody go up there to see where it might have hit?
Nope.
Nope, nobody looked. There could be a dead person up there.
Oh well.
You know, someone says, "Oh well, sucks being them." Oh yeah, that's okay. Well, gamer, if you get that Flight Factor 757, if you have an iPad, you can actually, there's a software program built in with what they give you for that plane, that you can run this flight management computer off your iPad. While you're flying. You could enter in your route information, everything, just as if you were coming down here with a mouse and clicking everything. You can just sit there and type it in, whatever, and you can watch your route. It's really neat. Yeah, let me look. I think they got documentation on it. Let me look. I can remember where I put it. It's probably an aircraft folder. I need games. It's called a remote CDU. The way you connect it is you type in a web address. Why is that blank? Yeah, you type in a web address and your IP or something like that in it. It's real simple to connect. You locate your IP address. It's loading real slow. I wanted to show you a picture of it, but yeah, this is all you type. That's your IP address, and then colon, and then this into your iPad, and you connect it to it. That's what it looks like on an iPad. I would not get an Android it doesn't work good on Androids at all. That's what I have, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what it looks like when you just type in with your fingers on there and whatever. And that's free along with it. X-Plane also has a program called Shared I don't know if it's exactly called Shared Cockpit, but you can share a cockpit with another user that has the same airplane. It's not compatible with all airplanes, though. You'd have to check the list of the ones that are compatible. And you both would be... You couldn't see each other sitting here, obviously, but if you got a chat program or whatever, he could be manipulating radios and the MCP while you're flying, things like that. Some streamers do that on occasion. That might be compatible with FSX as well, I'm not sure. Did you buy cigarettes? May I have one?
Sure.
Why not? I'm only providing you a roof over your head.
You gonna hold it over my head?
Huh?
You gonna
No.
hold it over my head?
If I have to. Just kidding.
Yeah, sure.
God, take it for what it is, a joke. Shared cockpit. Right now I'm by myself. I'm controlling the plane by myself. And if there's somebody else in the world that has this exact airplane, and you both have the shared cockpit program, you basically both connect. It kind of looks like you're by yourself, but you're not. I could be sitting here and I could tell him over the chat program, descend to whatever altitude. You'd be seeing, these gauges changes and things like that. It'd be just like he's actually in the airplane with you. So if you're actually running out of VATSIM or whatever, and you got the controller, and you would tell your other guy, you're the co-pilot, go ahead and you handle the radios and gear and all that other stuff, or whatever you want to share. And like if you say tell them gear down or whatever, you'll see this gear lever go down, and so it's just like you're actually in the airplane together. I do a Google search shared cockpit, and they probably come up with. In fact, well, let me see if I can come up with it here. Yeah. Well, apparently it's compatible with FSX as well. May only be for that. I've never done it, so I happen to look at it. They got a couple of videos on it. Huh, it might even be built into the Steam, or built into FSX as well. I know there's an external program you can buy. Aerosoft Company. I'm not finding it on a quick search, but I'm sure if you Googled it for a little bit, you'd find it. I'm not sure, to be honest with you there, Ewo. I would imagine there might be a little bit of a delay, but like I said, I've never used it. I know people have streamed online with it, though. A lot of times you'll see it in the title, shared cockpit with such and such person or whatever. I mean, that's what's happening. They both have the same airplane where they're at. But it basically merges their airplanes together as if you're operating one. Which would be ideal for VATSIM. That way you're not, one guy isn't overloaded with having to do radios and all that shit while he's trying to make sure he's on flight path and all that. Alright, how far are we out? Let's see, 93 miles to descent. It's going to give me about 96 miles to get down to where I need to get to. So I'm going to let VNAV go as far as I can. Probably down to about 8,000. Then I'll disconnect VNAV. Anyway, I'll do another pan around the outside. I didn't show the front end and all that, but Very beautiful airplane. You see the heat coming out of the engines. I haven't completely figured out what this big circle thing is. I'm guessing red's the direction I'm going. White may be the angle my airplane's facing to fight the wind, more than likely. I don't know what blue is. Don't know what this brown is. Still got my landing lights on. Oops. Whatever. Should be able to see the pilots in here, but I think you can't because it's sunny out. You got the pitot tubes there. Yeah, that's awesome. 737-300 series. I think they stopped making those in the 90s. But I'm going to check out FSX again because according to those Google search things, kind of look like there might be something native inside FSX that would allow you to do that. I'll have to take a look at that. I wasn't aware of that. There's a couple of videos. If you do shared cockpit in Google search, first two things come up are videos, two videos. I think one or both indicate how you do that. I'd imagine that would involve messing with your firewall too to unblock certain, I forget what you call them. Open up certain ports on it. Kitty. There he is. There he is. Get my kitty. Get my kitty. Where you going? So Ewos, do you stream? I'm gonna Point that camera down a little bit more so we're not getting so much of that window in the lighting. I'm not sure if that helped or not. In fact, it might have made it a little brighter. Oh well. We're going to descend here in about 45 miles. The shaking is actually, I have the setting, head shaking or something in here. So it's not the video glitching. Basically, anytime you have turbulence, and that's this up here, when it shakes the airplane, you can see it. I also you see it on the ground when you're going down the runway, it's bumping. Or taxiway. Garage Gamer, if you haven't picked up the add-on, it's called, what's it called? XRAAS. You should get that one. What that does is it's runway awareness alert system. It'll let you know if you're what runway you're approaching. Thank you for the follow. I assume that was Evo. Yep. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And Crazy Cat's on the screen there. Drugged up kitty cat. Yeah, that RAS, that's real nice. A lot. I mean, just about. Everything I have other than the airplanes that I buy is free. X Economy. You may want to check that out if you like flying smaller airplanes. It's kind of a simulator where you earn money carrying cargo and passengers to various places. Airport Navigator is another decent one here. Oh, let me see if I can call it up. I don't use it a whole lot because I don't memorize the key commands. Oops, that's showing the nearest airport. I didn't want to do that. Actually, what that does, good thing it does, when you're on the ground, it'll show you the overhead map of the airport, and the taxiways are labeled and the runways are labeled, so it kind of helps you guide your way through the airport. Again, that's free. Oops, I want to hide that map. If I remember, I'll show you that when we're on the ground. Real-time weather programs. Yeah. This NOAA, I'm not sure if it's compatible with X-Plane 11. But it's NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration GPS weather. It's supposed to be a lot more accurate than the default weather engine. Supposedly it's activated right now. I'm not sure if it is or not. Tell you what, when there's turbulence, showing a little turbulence, I'm going to turn turbulence off, see if it does anything. Could be a little bit of a delay. No, I don't think it's active. There might be an X-Plane 11 version. I just transferred this over from X-Plane 10. But you can turn on wind levels, cloud levels, temperature, pressure. It's not a scenery enhancement or anything. It just makes your winds, all this stuff here, more accurate. As far as the weather generator, the $69, I think it's $69 for XEnviro at the org store, xplain.org. A lot of people are saying that's a real good program, but I don't know if I want to spend $70 on a weather generator. I mean, to me, the stock weather looks good. I would not buy SkyMax Pro. People say it's all right, but I think that's $40. But for X-Plane, if you're going to get any weather generator that's of any meat to it, is the XEnviro, and that's expensive. All right, we ought to be starting our descent here shortly. Oh. You can also communicate with other pilots at 118.75. If I tuned my radio to 118.75, I'd be able to listen to him, assuming he's still transmitting. I'll go ahead and do that. There's no range limit. I don't believe there's a range limit, so if they're anywhere in the world, I'll hear them when I tune to it. Nope. Oh, come on. Can't control the volume on it, or what? Oh, there we go.
Cinnamon, that's enough.
Oh. Better start setting my ILS information. 111. 24 right. Oh. I wanted 24 left, but 24 right will work. I can say that wasn't what I remembered it being, but it is for that runway. And course 237. And down we go. What this little thing down here tells me is if I'm on the glide slope that it's expecting, it should be right dead center, but it's down below. That means that I have to come down to meet it. The plane should try to. It should be it's descending at 4,000 feet per minute, which probably can cause me to overspeed, which now causes me to throw what I told you before, the speed brake on. Probably going to have to go full speed brake at 4,000. Yep. That should come back up. See, it's coming back up. You ideally, in theory, you always want it dead center. But it's going to change a little bit just because it's got to remanipulate the trim on its own, the automatic trim, to start the descent properly. Now, if this starts going up a little higher, I'll take my speed brake off. We're down to 2,000 feet per minute descent, so I could probably take a little bit of speed brake off.
Cinnamon, that's enough.
Go ahead and enter my approach information. Flaps 30, speed 131. Now on my arrival, I have to add it's almost pretty much a head-on speed, so I'm going to add about 18 to that. So roughly 150 is the speed I'm going to want to come in with at this point. There's Lake Erie up ahead. A little bit here, you can see it. $75 miles out. This pass should take me right over Cleveland, Ohio. Probably a little bit over the ocean and come back in. Ocean, yeah. I'm sorry, the lake. Diamond's dead center. We're good. I'll recheck what I need to change the barrow to at 18,296 when I hit 18,000. I just recently got this X weather. It's really nice. You don't have to go online to find out what the real-time conditions are at the given airport. You can just punch it in here and hit METAR. So I know ahead of time what I need to change my my barometer or QNH to.